All right, guys, welcome back. This is Trendy John at Simpler Trading. We're going to go over the neutral strategy. And again, this is uncertain how long I'll continue doing this. So if you really like it, tell me why you like it. How much do you use it? Did you make money off of it last week? Did you not make money off of it? Uh, what held you up? Why didn't you take the trade? Did you take the trade? I just need some feedback because again, it's my Sunday, right? It's 1:30 here. I love to do things just like you do, but I also love teaching and I love giving you content. But I want to know that, traders are using it. And from what I can see, and I have noticed this for many, many years, is that many traders use it, but it does take up a good portion of my time. I'll continue doing it as long as I get that great feedback. So, again, thank you so much, guys. Let's go ahead and get started. So, last week, let's go ahead and talk about what happened. We did the analysis. I gave you some great levels. Did they work? Yes, 100% they did. You got the short trigger here. Not only did we hit T1, T2, and T3, I showed you how to get this demand zone down here. And notice this is exactly where the buyer showed up. Price moved into that upper cloud, into the neutral. Notice how the neutral then becomes resistance. It comes back down. We make a higher low. We get a trendy turn signal. Things look good. Momentum changes. You could tell by the color of the candle, red to white to green. Things are looking pretty good. And we stalled right before it's giving us a buy signal over the green. Now, I'm going to tell you right off the top of my head here, I have to, you know, I have to take into consideration, do I want to create a new neutral strategy? And this only happens every once in a while. And we'll get to that here in a second. Over here on the QQQ, same thing. Gave you the opportunity to go short. That worked for all targets to the downside. Just like the SPY, I showed you how to get the demand zone here on the Qs. That demand zone did work. It did dig in a little bit deeper, probably about 75% of the zone. And we can check that real fast while we're sitting here. So we're going to come up here and measure this. Pretty close. Got pretty close to 75%. Not quite, but it did dig in a lot deeper. But we know the Qs like to kind of lead the pack, if you will. Notice same thing here. We made higher lows. We then moved up and we stalled right at the top of the neutral. Man, these levels worked well, right? And then we did go from red to white to green. And we have not broken above or closed above these neutrals. So I really don't want to touch any of this. And I really don't want to touch this because as long as this green zone holds, just like the ES and the NASDAQ future charts that we just went over on my broad market analysis. And if you haven't seen that, make sure you go over there and watch that. That's very important for you guys to watch that video on Sundays and get ready for this week. Okay, so this is just one little piece of the puzzle. The bigger piece is the broad market analysis. But because we came into demand, I feel really confident that our next move is pushing us into this supply zone. Now, the question is when? Are we hitting it this week? We definitely could do that. But I don't like to make promises and I don't like to sound too convicted because that can cause some issues. So let's just be open minded and stick with the plan itself. If we break over this, we could be aggressive on Monday and look to go long. And as we hit these levels to the upside, you pull those stops up. Now, the big thing is with the supply zone being at 550, I really want to know what is my overall um, um, ATR, average trading range. Can price move up, here about it looks like $28 to the upside in order for us to get 50. I don't think our ATR is quite that wide. So again, I do believe we're headed here, but timing is the variable. We went over some of the econ data that's coming out this week. I just don't feel like it's enough to push us there. But again, I don't know. So let's just follow price. If price closes above the neutral or starts to aggressively go bid over the neutral, let's go long into the targets that are above here on the SPY. And then same thing over here on the QQQ. What I will tell you is right around this purple line and this yellow line is where I'd expect the most resistance and really give us the answer of whether or not we're going to be able to make it up to here. And the same thing over here on the Qs. You have a purple line that's right here and you have a yellow line there. Okay, so these are going to be major levels. Now, do I want to change these levels to the downside? I really don't. the bigger picture, I just care about the green zone, to be honest with you. But if you want to use these, say you go short underneath the red, like say we get an opportunity again to go short, you can use these same levels. You can note that we have like this yellow trendy edge here, we have this orange trendy edge here. These can be targets, so I'm gonna name those off instead of putting lines there. This target would come up a little bit and be about 526.57 to the downside. And then we have another target down here at around 523.14. And then this target down here is pretty much in line with that demand zone, and that's 512.56. To the downside on the QQQs, if we break down below the red, you're looking for a target, a quick target of 443 and a quarter. And then below that, you'd be looking at about 438.74. And then below that, you'd be looking at 427. Remember, we're supply and demand traders. So the big thing for me, as long as this holds, I'm looking for this. As long as this holds, I'm looking for this. This is going to be our major resistance going into those levels this week. Trade the neutral strategy just the way we would. So really, this is going to be a quick one. We really don't need to do any sort of um, analysis, if you will. We're going to keep the same levels that we had last week. The big thing is all I care about by Friday is whether or not we close above these green levels going forward into this week. So again, short and sweet. I hope you guys did well last week. Again, I would love to hear some feedback on how you did. Thank you so much. Have a great day.